my name is Melissa van Dijk, and in this video I'm going to show you how you can use Paula's Choice Clinical 20% Niacinamide Serum, which can help you to improve textured and bumpy skin, at the same time helps to even out your skin tone, such as improve surface hyperpigmentation like sunspots or post-acne marks. It has some anti-aging benefits, helps to regulate your oiliness, which then at the same time helps to minimize the appearance of enlarged pores, and it may have moisturizing benefits as well. This serum is suitable for all skin types, and it can be used daily in the morning and or evening. So either once or twice per day daily, which you need to adjust accordingly to your needs. And so this serum can be used on its own. It can be used along with any other skincare products which you may have at home, or even mix it with your favorite serum or moisturizer if you wanted to dilute it, if you want to save a step, if that method works best for you when applying it to the skin. So it is completely adjustable. Now I want to share with you some example skincare routines so that you can see the order of application and what's important to remember when working with a 20% niacinamide treatment. And then I want to get into the entire application and mixture, which I want to demonstrate as well. So when working with this product and you're planning on using it in the morning and or evening, the routine can look very similar, and I do want to go into the details when going over it. And so I have prepared for you some example skincare routines for you in PowerPoint slides, which again include some example skincare products for different skin types, because it is important to always adjust it accordingly to your needs. And so when getting started, doesn't matter if you're doing this in the morning and or evening, it always will remain the same step. And this is first of all washing your face with a suitable cleanser for your skin type and needs. This can be a gentle cleanser or exfoliating acid cleanser if you're not planning on using another leave-on exfoliant or exfoliating acid mask in that same routine. Otherwise only use a gentle cleanser. Now make sure that the cleanser that you're using does not dry out your skin nor irritates your skin in any way, and make sure that it is suitable for your skin needs. So if you have, for example, oily skin, look for an oily skin cleanser. If you have dry skin or sensitive skin, look for a cleanser that's specifically determined to your skin needs, so that it feels comfortable on the skin when using it and when using it along with a 20% niacinamide treatment. And in the evening you may want to do a double cleanse, especially if you have worn stubborn sunscreen and or makeup throughout the day, or just maybe want to use an oil or balm cleanser on its own to make sure that everything comes off. Then once you're done with washing your face using a cleanser, you're going to pat the skin dry. Then you can move on to the second step, which is optional, and this is including an hydrating and soothing toner to your skincare routine. So if you have one, this would be the second step after cleansing. However, if you do not have an hydrating and soothing toner, it's fine to skip this step. And so when working with a toner, again, make sure that it's working well for your skin needs. You can find different ones with different benefits that are a bit more suitable for oily skin or for drier skin. And please do not confuse an hydrating and soothing toner with an exfoliating acid toner, because you can find them on the market as well. Paula's Choice itself does make a huge difference between an hydrating toner and the exfoliating acids, but how sometimes it can be a bit confusing, so therefore always read on the packaging to figure out with what you're currently working with. And so this would be the second step after cleansing. Then as a third step after cleansing, which again is optional, would be an exfoliating acid. Now when it comes to exfoliating acids, and if you want to use it along in your skincare routine, please make sure to adjust the frequency. And most of the time it is recommended to use them in your evening skincare routine, but again it won't change the order of application. And so when working with exfoliating acids, you can go ahead, for example, with a BHA or salicylic acid solution that's a bit more suitable for oily, sensitive, acne-prone skin, whereas AHAs like glycolic, lactic or mandelic acid are a bit more suitable if you have a drier skin type. So again, you need to adjust it. If you do not have an exfoliant, you do not want to use one because you do not feel the need, it is of course fine to skip this step. And then you would move on to Paula's Choice 20% Niacinamide Treatment. Apply it to the skin, leave it on the skin. Then during daytime, it is recommended to follow with sun protection. So either use a moisturizer that already contains SPF or your regular sunscreen. Not because, niacinamide does not make your skin sensitive to the sun, but it's especially important if you want to protect your skin from sun-damaged skin, which can help you to prevent like premature aging. And at the same time, if you're battling with hyperpigmentation, sun protection during daytime when being exposed to the sun is key. And so when it comes to adjusting it to your needs, you can see I have two examples right here from Paula's Choice. One's great for combination to oily skin, whereas the other one is a bit more suitable for normal to dry skin. So you can find different moisturizers that already contain SPF or regular sunscreens for different skin types. They have a different texture, feel differently on the skin, and make sure that you're using one that's comfortable on the skin and does not irritate your skin or like makes your skin or your eyes sensitive in any ways. That's really important. And then when it comes to the evening, you do not need to use sun protection, but instead you may want to replace it with a moisturizer that does not contain SPF, so like a regular moisturizer that's suitable for your skin type and needs. If you do not feel the need of using a moisturizer in your evening skincare routine, it's fine to skip it. And so there you have an example of a morning and or evening skincare routine. Again, it is very similar, but I do want to emphasize, since Paula's Choice 20% Niacinamide Treatment is so-called suitable for all skin types, but at the same time it helps to regulate your oiliness. If you have a drier skin type and you may feel that your skin becomes drier, then either reduce the frequency of Paula's Choice 20% Niacinamide Treatment. So if you would use it twice per day, narrow it down to once per day or every other day. Or you may want to adjust it accordingly to the rest of your skincare routine. So if you haven't used, for example, an hydrating and soothing toner or moisturizer before, but while using it your skin becomes a bit drier, but you enjoy the benefits that it's giving you, then you may want to include more hydrating products in that same routine so that you can balance it out. And so this is what I mean with always adjusting it accordingly to your needs and how your skin is going to change over time when using a new skincare product. And so if you find those example skincare routines helpful, if you want to go over them in your own time, then you can download the PowerPoint slides in the description box down below and basically use it as a guide. However, for now I want to keep my focus on the entire application and how you can mix it. So again, we are going to get started with the first step, which is washing your face. Either using a daily gentle cleanser, or you may want to do a double cleanse depending on when you're doing your skincare routine. As for this example, I'm going to use Geek and Gorgeous Jelly Joker Cleanser, which is, for example, great for all skin types, including sensitive skin. And when using a cleanser, if you're using a different one that works really well for you, go ahead and use that one. Just make sure to read the directions on the back of the packaging on how you should use your cleanser, since this can sometimes change. So either you need to use your cleanser on dry skin or on wet skin. So make sure that you're going to adjust it. In this case, I need to use Geek and Gorgeous Jelly Joker on wet skin. So this is now the first step that I'm going to do. I'm going to wet my face, neck and hands with lukewarm water to warm water, and then I'm using a bit of the cleanser and applying it on wet skin. If your cleanser does mention apply it on dry skin, then you're going to immediately applying it on dry skin. So let's go ahead and do this. And go ahead, use your cleanser and either use about 1 to 2 pumps, so about a coin size amount in your hands. About that much, more or less. Use it between your hands and then gently massage it all over your face and neck for about 30 seconds to a minute. And please make sure to read on the directions if you can use it around the eyes or if you should avoid the eye area if it mentions anything about it. So, and once you have massaged it all over your face and neck, you can go ahead and rinse it off again with lukewarm with lukewarm water to warm water, and you can only use your hands if that's working really well for you. However, if you should have troubles removing it properly from the skin and you feel like, well, there's still something left on the skin surface, then you can go ahead and use a fresh and soft washcloth which you can wet, and this can help you to remove the cleanser a bit better. So now go ahead, take a fresh towel and pat the skin dry. So once you're done with washing your face, you have pat the skin dry, you can immediately move on to the next step. Now, again, your second and third step, like your toner and exfoliant, are optional steps. You can include them, but you don't have to. If you include them, use them before applying Paula's Choice 20% Niacinamide Serum. If you do not include them, use Paula's Choice 20% Niacinamide Serum immediately after cleansing. And so when applying a toner and or exfoliant, the application is very similar. So you're going to either use it on a cotton pad and dispense a bit of product onto a cotton pad so they're slightly damp but not overly soaked, so that you have enough product to evenly swipe it across your face and neck, or you're going to use it in the palm of your hand and then apply it to the skin. And then you're going to leave it on the skin and wait between 30 seconds to a minute in between your toner and or exfoliant before applying Paula's Choice 20% Niacinamide Treatment. And so again, those steps are optional. However, I now wanted to move immediately on to Paula's Choice 20% Niacinamide Treatment, which, as already mentioned, you can use it on its own or layering it along with any other skincare products which you may have at home, or mixing it with another serum or moisturizer. And so when using it on its own, it has a pipette, so you're going to use between 3 to 5 drops either in the palm of your hand, or immediately place the drops on your face and then start blending it all over, or even pat it all over, which of course depends on your preference and what application method and blending method works the best for you. Just make sure to not get it into your eyes nor into your mouth. Please do not use it on top of your eyelids. And if you have overall in general a sensitive area, since we are working with a 20% niacinamide treatment, you may want to be a bit more careful around the eye itself as well, so that you're not getting it too close to the eye. And so you will notice this if you're using it all over your face and neck. If you can feel a bit of sensitivity, then please do not bring it too close to the actual under eye area and space it out a bit. And then after that, you're again going to leave it on the skin. However, if you now feel like, well, the 20% niacinamide treatment may not apply that well if you're using it on its own, or you wanted to dilute it to reduce the strength of it because you come across itching, or you may feel that your skin is a bit more sensitive since it is quite a high percentage of niacinamide, then you can mix it with your favorite serum or moisturizer. Now, if you're planning on diluting it to reduce the strength of it, my best advice would be mixing it with a moisturizer. However, if you want to give another serum, for example, a boost of niacinamide, then this would be, for example, a great method to do, so that you have an idea of when you would do what. And so I have an example of Paula's Choice Water Infused Electrolyte Moisturizer, which I'm now going to use to show you the mixture. This can work with any moisturizer really, as this is just now the one that I have picked. And so use about a pea-sized amount, more or less, which again depends on your skin type. If you have a drier skin type, you probably are going to use a bit more of your moisturizer, so then go ahead and use a bit more. And then basically add between 2 to 3 drops in the palm of your hand and mix it with your moisturizer. Once you have nicely blended them together, then use it between your hands and then immediately apply the mixture all over your face and neck. Now, if you want to give your other serum a boost of niacinamide, then this would be basically like 2-step in one. And then you can move on to either sun protection in like during daytime or your moisturizer in the evening. However, if you're doing the mixture with your moisturizer, then this can work for your morning routine as well if you're using a separate like regular sunscreen afterwards for during daytime. However, in the evening, this mixture would be your last step. So you would cleanse your face, maybe using hydrating and soothing toner, exfoliant, and then use the mixture. So you're not going to apply the niacinamide treatment basically twice. You're only going to apply it once, either alone or mixed with something. However, for this demonstration, I now want to keep my focus on using it basically on its own, and I want to keep my focus on the serum itself. So when planning on using it on its own, use between 3 to 5 drops in the palm of your hand or immediately on your face, and then start blending it all over. So once you have applied it, then again give it 30 seconds to a minute so it can absorb into the skin. Leave it on the skin, and then you're moving on to the next step. Now again, if this is going to be your morning routine, you would follow with a moisturizer that already contains SPF, or your regular moisturizer and then use sun protection afterwards if you should feel the need of using a moisturizer. However, in the evening you're just going to finish with the moisturizer on its own without sun protection. And so when using a moisturizer, again, I do want to emphasize, make sure that you're using one that's suitable for your skin type and needs. If you do not feel the need of using a moisturizer, that's completely fine. Always adjust it. If you do not feel the need of using a moisturizer in the beginning, but over time while using the treatment you may feel like, well, the skin starts to become slightly dry, then of course adjust it, and you may want to use a light moisturizer afterwards. When using the moisturizer afterwards, again, as I already showed you earlier, use about a pea-size amount, basically the moisturizer on its own, and then apply it all over your face and neck, basically on top of your niacinamide treatment. However, during daytime, please follow with sun protection. I have examples right here, as I already mentioned earlier. Of course, if you have a different moisturizer that already contains SPF in it, or a regular sunscreen that's working really well for you, go ahead and use that one. Just make sure that you're going to use enough product so that you can evenly apply it all over your face and neck. And as a general guide, I always like to refer to my teaspoon, which is, for example, using about half a teaspoon for your face and neck and about a teaspoon for your face, neck and décolletage. This is just a general guide which can be adjusted. If you feel like, well, you ended up with too much sunscreen because of the size of your face and how you want to blend it, then of course reduce it. If you feel like it's not enough, depending on your sunscreen, then use a bit more. Just make sure that you're using enough to evenly protect the skin. Apply your sun protection 10 to 15 minutes before sun exposure and reapply it, especially after you have been in the sun for several hours, or you went for a swim, or you had outdoor activities where you sweat a lot, where the sunscreen can move around, wear off, or even break down during the day. Then the reapplication during midday is advised to do so. So about that much, more or less. Use it in the palm of your hand. And then gently blend it all over your face, neck, and maybe décolletage as well. So, and once you have applied your sunscreen or moisturizer with SPF all over your face and neck, then again you're going to leave it on the skin. There's no need to wash it off. And this would be an example of a very simple, straightforward morning skincare routine. Now again, I do want to remind you, if you find example skincare routines helpful, you want to go over them in your own time, I'm going to put the link in the description box down below so that you can download them. Now this is the routine that I wanted to share with you. This is how I wanted to show you to use Paula's Choice 20% Niacinamide Treatment. I do hope that you find it helpful, that you enjoyed it. And if you're now wondering, well, how can I apply, for example, my toner or exfoliant, or you may want to use more about Paula's Choice products, I have several videos on my channel and I'm going to link some of them at the end of this video so that you can check them out. Now, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon in the next one. Happy skincaring. Bye.